Okay, now that we have our sides trimmed off, we're ready to apply the stripping tape to the edge. This is whenever we layer over the top piece of the tank and we cut away that top piece, we're going to be cutting against that tape, and that's going to help us to get a nice edge and also not cut through to the side pieces of the vinyl. If you do that, if you cut all the way through, as the temperature of the wrap expands out in the sun, things like that, you may get a split, and that's what we don't want. Now this is just an extra piece of vinyl, and I've got a piece of stripping tape right here. Let's just peel away the edge, and I wanted to show you quickly how this works. The back of the tape doesn't stick to the vinyl, so you can see that I can press it on, press it in there, and then as we peel it away effortlessly, it pulls away. And that's what we want whenever we're trimming away this, because if the tape stuck really hard to the vinyl, then it would be more possible that you would distort the edge. So even though you cut it and trimmed it nicely, as you peeled away the tape, if you were pulling against the adhesive, it might wrinkle it and make it look rough looking. So I'm going to go ahead and take some of this stripping tape. I'm going to turn that tank sideways here. You can actually see the front area where I'm going to start with the stripping tape. And let's start the tape at the end here. And I'm just going to pull a section of it out. And pinstripers do this a lot. You kind of get a point started here. I want to go to the inside so we have a nice wide seam. And just go ahead and start it there. Now as I put this on, I can move left or right to kind of go along with the curve of how I cut my seam there. And it's okay if it steps outside of the line or inside the line a little bit. It's okay. It doesn't have to be exact. Let me move the tank around here so you can see the rest of it. And as we get to the end, we're just going to trim it off and wrap it around. Okay, just go ahead and press that in. If there's any wrinkles or air bubbles, just make sure you get it as much as possible there. That looks pretty good. I'm just going to do this to both sides now. Okay, now that both sides have the stripping tape applied, we're going to put a little bit more alcohol on this. Take care of any smudges that we might have put on with our hands, things like that. Just to prep the surface, get it ready for the top centerpiece. I'm just going to grab the centerpiece and lay this up here. We're just basically going to find where the front of the tank is there and mask it off. Just kind of hold it down, pull it along the back side. So here you can see there's the front center of the tank, and there's the center of the wrap. I want to give me just a little room to overlap, so I'll tape it at that point, pull it forward. And now I'll flip the tape around back and look at how much room we've got here. You can see that overlaps to the end. The actual seat of the motorcycle comes up to this point. So as long as we're inside this range, this has plenty of material though. Okay, just as I did with checking to make sure that we have enough area and material to go over the body panels, with this one you want to make sure that you got enough area to cover over where the stripe is. So you can see here there's like 3 or 4 inches on this side. And same thing here, there's 3 or 4 inches before it gets up to where the tape is, so we have plenty of room to cut that off whenever we finish the wrap. So now that we have the tape in the sides and also the tape in the front, we're ready to peel away the backing from the back portion of the tank. So what I'm going to do, because of the way this is taped on the side, you've got a little bit of an issue with being able to fold this up to peel away the backing. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to go ahead and take off one of these side pieces just to kind of give me a little bit of a relief. when I'm peeling that away. There you go. Let's put that to the side and take this material where it started to kind of peel and pull this apart a little bit there. That's no problem. And we got a few wrinkles there, but the torch will be able to get that out. So now let's go ahead and tape back down our top area so we have good masking across here. And I'm just going to pull this back like this. And you can see that right behind where the gas cap is, that's where we're going to start. You can see it's making a little bit of contact right there too, and that's fine. So let's go ahead and get our squeegee ready with the sleeve. Actually going to go to this side here, and we're going to start squeegeeing down the middle of the gas tank. And as you start to go back, keep in mind too that it's got its compound radiuses. So you got one radius going this way, and then you got a radius going across the top. So that means before you get too far down, you want to start going along the sides as well. So we're going to pull out this area with the sides, start squeegeeing that just a little bit. If you start to get wrinkles, just pull them out. Just pop it out a little bit there. Now this is an area too, because it's compound curves, you got a curve going this way and this way, that's really useful to torch it and kind of stretch it out a little bit. It's going to help us get rid of a lot of wrinkles as we're installing it. So what I'm going to do is I'm just going to pop away any of these wrinkles, put a little bit of heat on it, and that's going to help me to stretch it a little bit more as I pull it out. Now you can see that this is more of a flat area, but as we get more into the curves of the tank, like this is where the tank really takes a turn. It's almost a 90-degree turn over about 3 or 4 inches. So this is where you really want to take a lot of special care with the wrap and making sure that when you lay it down you don't get any wrinkles. Now to do this, what you're going to do is you're going to apply a lot more heat and you're going to stretch it a lot more. So let's pop this back a little bit. Let's heat it up. Now it's funny, this material actually, as you heat it up, especially if you've got wrinkles and things like that, it almost shrinks. So you can think of vinyl wraps, you're like, well, it needs to stretch a lot. Vinyl also needs to kind of have the ability to shrink in some areas in order to get a good installation and not have wrinkles in your areas with the curves. So as you heat it up, it also helps it to shrink.